Well, thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate it. I think I got everybody, but I'm not sure. I've been trying to get Neil permission to record our meeting. I guess we got it now while I was talking to you. So I just appreciate you all being here today. If I miss somebody, just raise your hand. To introduce Arthur, who is going to talk to us about working in the legislature, so we can maybe help our representatives and our senator, by the way, who's going to be with us, I believe, next month. Sarah Eckhart is going to join us and give us an update on her first few weeks at the Senate. But I also want to see, we've got some time. I want Bruce to also talk to us about VDRs. But I want you to think about, while we listen to Arthur and Bruce, these are forward-looking actions that we are going to be involved in. And Bruce is back. Bruce, thank you so much for coming back. Really,
I don't know what to say. That was incredibly disturbing. I don't know what happened, but it was awful.
yeah, I just said I feel like I've been physically attacked. I mean, it was on my computer and I just couldn't do anything to get it off. Thank heavens Leslie Cairns knew what to do, and I just made her a co-host, so she was able to get those idiots out. But yeah, that will never happen again. From now on, our meetings are not going to be our password is not going to be published, and we will have a waiting room so we can screen who comes in. And
the password wasn't published, but the link was public, I guess. So, or the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, the password was actually in the link. It was part of the.
Just FYI, the way we've been doing things, and it took a few rounds to figure out what seems to work so far, is using Mobilize. People sign up, so there is that sign up step, and then they receive an email that contains the link. And then after that, they have to go into a waiting room. You can let them in, but you have multiple co-hosts who are ready to just knock people off the second you figure out that they shouldn't be there.
Yeah, okay. All right, gang, from now on, we're going to have to do that. And I'll have to look into this Mobilize app. I'm just still rattled. Okay, I do know Anita Jones, so she's okay, okay? I see she just joined us. Bruce, would you tell us about what you plan to do for VDRs in the future here?
Sure. Since we're still in COVID, all our trainings are going to continue to be remote. We have kind of a multiple tiers of trainings. The VDRs who have registered 100 or more voters, and I know Emil is in that group multiple times. They're going to get an email if they haven't already, letting them know that they can just take a short exam and be done. They don't have to go through the training again. And for others, we're going to have a video of the VDR that they can go and watch the video and take an exam. And VDRs will be getting emails about that. And then certainly for new VDRs and VDRs who want to go through the training again, we will have live VDR trainings once a month. I don't have the calendar in front of me, but if you go to our website or the VDR Facebook page, it'll be there. And we'll have live trainings every month. And then, hopefully this summer, we'll be able to get back to some in-person trainings as long as we wear our masks and we get the vaccine and do all the things that we need to do. We can certainly get past this. We did a great job last year. We were at 97%. It was incredible. We just had to remove a bunch of people from the rolls. Every 4 years we do this for people when we send out their voter cards and they come back to us. Most of them have either left the county or moved or passed away. But we work really hard to find the people who have moved. And so we're finding a lot of those people, but we know that our population is very dynamic. People are turning 18 every day. People are moving every day. People are becoming citizens every day. People are regaining their rights as citizens coming out of prison every day. And so we want to make sure that we're continuing to reach out to all of those people as safely as we're able to. And we certainly found safe ways to do voter registration last year. And I'm really proud of my staff and all our VDRs for making that happen.
Well, thank you, Bruce. I got a couple questions for you. One, I just moved to Manor myself, and I'm in a new housing district, or housing development rather, and there's several around me, and I know nearly these people are not registered to vote, but I can't go out and the door to register them. Is there another way that I can get people registered?
Well, you can do a couple things. One is that you can go either to our website or to registertovote.com, and you can see the addresses where they're not registered, and you could leave voter registration cards on their porch with a little note saying, you know, welcome to the neighborhood. We want to make sure that you're registered and that your voice is counting. So that's something you can do, and that would be contactless.
Okay, because, and by the way, congratulate me. I just had my 79th birthday. I never thought I would live this long. But because I have reached this age, I am being especially careful about not going out or seeing anybody or being in contact with anyone. So, because I feel I still have a lot of work to do and want to be alive to do it. Okay. I see Louis is here, adorable child. Anyway, I'm happy about getting some of those cards so I can do that, because I do, especially as the weather gets a little better, I do want to get out and walk and, you know, but I don't want to see anybody. So that sounds like a good idea to me. The other question I had was, you mentioned at one meeting where we were expanding out into other counties. And I know I myself have had, and several of our group here have had, VDR license, if you will, to register people in the surrounding counties. But is that gonna change any? Are we gonna have an easier way of doing it? Or what's your plans for that?
Well, yes and no. We will continue offering trainings for the surrounding counties, for VDRs in the surrounding counties. And once they're trained with us, they take the evidence that the paper that we send them to that county, to that election administrator, and they will swear them in as VDRs in those counties. We've been doing that a lot. We trained hundreds, maybe thousands of people in the surrounding counties over the last few years, and we're certainly happy to do that. We have the resources to do that. Now that we're doing it electronically, it's a lot easier for us to be able to do. So we're certainly happy to do that. We encourage Williamson, Hayes, Bastrop, Blanco, Caldwell, all these counties to take advantage of our training.
And don't forget Burnett County too. That's one of the other ones that I kind of taken under my wing.
We won't forget Burnett.
Okay.
By the way, Bastrop is doing online training. Now, they sent me a note, and I've already done it. I'm waiting for them to physically mail the card, as I have already done also with Travis County.
Well, good for Bastrop. Bastrop, in terms of voter registration, was kind of a disappointment this last time. We saw significant increases in Hayes and Williamson, really proud of them. Bastrop, we didn't see the same increases, so we've got some work to do in Bastrop, and it's there to be achieved. We just have to get out and do it.
Yeah, and Bastrop, I understand, is one of the fastest growing counties in the state too. So that must be a lot of people there that are not registered.
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Bruce, and we'll be in touch. And like I said, I hope our group will be active. It's so frustrating not to be able to physically get out and do things and just, sit and stare at a Zoom screen and then get attacked. This is not going to be a good day for me, I can tell. Arthur, are you ready?
I think so. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Great,
Yes.
thank you.
Okay.
Sorry about that. That was all pretty ugly. My name's Arthur Simone. I am a precinct chair for 122, which is Springdale Hills, University Hills in East Austin. I am the co-chair of the Travis County Democratic Party 87th Legislature Task Force, along with Ash Hall. And we are organizing both precinct chairs and other volunteers around Central Texas to watch what is happening at the legislature and to take advantage of what is both a blessing and a curse of having state government live here right in our backyards. This is going to be a strange session. It is already. The pieces are coming together, and we have, I think just yesterday, learned who's going to be on the committees on the Senate side, and I will try to post a link here in a second to be able to share that information. We don't know the House committees yet, but looking at the Senate committees, I can tell, especially on state affairs, that we're going to have a pretty unfun time ahead of us. And so it kind of is incumbent on us here in Central Texas to help to coordinate, to message, to write letters, to make phone calls, and when we figure out how to best do it, go physically to the Capitol, drop cards, register opinion, and all that. So want to share first this email address. This email address will go to both myself and to Ash Hall. If you are interested in learning more about the legislative task force we are organizing, send me an email there. If you're a crazy bigot without pants, do not email me. That was crazy, y'all. That was crazy. Who are these people? So we also have a Slack channel for more information. It's just kind of a lot of people who are pretty knowledgeable and or experienced about both chambers of the House, just watching and commenting on what is happening at any given time. The challenge that you have as somebody who is unfamiliar with how the state legislature works is an overwhelming amount of information. Every bill that is ever filed is going to be available to the public on the MyTLO website, My Texas Legislature online website. But if you have an account there and you've ever gone there, you start looking around and you are just bombarded by a wall of information and bills. You will see that a lot of different issues have a lot of different bills by a lot of different legislatures that are all pretty much the same, with the exception of just like a little change of word here and a little change of word there. So it's important as we watch these bills get referred to committee, go into committee, go back to the floor for another reading, et cetera. It's important that we are just all talking with one another and we are all watching as, you know, this particular Medicare bill is advanced, but this one is not, or like these three Medicare bills are in the mix and we need to kind of rally behind one of them. The stated purposes of this legislative committee are to first and foremost elevate and amplify the bills and the priorities of our Central Texas Democratic delegation. And so that includes our two Democratic state senators, Zaffarini and Eckhart, that touch Travis County, as well as the, 5 in the House, Israel, Rodriguez, Cole, Goodwin, Hinojosa. Did I say Israel? I'm going to say her again because she's cool. But last session, we did this and were able to help out with bills from John Busey and Talarico and Aaron Zwiener, because they are our Central Texas allies, and that is what we are doing. The secondary goal of this legislative task force is to just generally promote democratic values from other regions of the state. So if there's a Medicaid bill that one of our Central Texas Democrats is promoting, we're going to do what we can to elevate its presence and its its presence. If it's somebody from Dallas or from Houston or from El Paso, we will have our eyes on it and we will help out when necessary. But again, our top priority is helping our Central Texas delegation. And I think I had a third goal. What was our third goal? I'll get to that. But are there any questions so far about what we're doing and why we're here and who we are and what the hell was that? What the hell was that? Those idiots showing their butts? My goodness. I'll take questions.
I have a question about that. Are our computers going to be infected from here on with that? How do we get that cleaned up if so?
No, you should be fine. That was
Okay.
just in the Zoom session.
Okay, good.
No lasting damage.
Hi, this is Kathy Tesser, and I have a question, Arthur. First, I want to thank you for doing that and for your work on it. But I did wonder if, in addition to just kind of monitoring what's happening there, if there are any specific legislative goals we have, or if there are any bills that have been put forth from our delegation here in Central Texas that we're particularly trying to support.
Thanks for the question. It is, I mean, it's kind of our goal at the moment to support all the bills. Every single last nuts and bolts, or like renaming a highway, we're going to support all the bills of the Central Texas delegation right now as they are filed, and they are continually filed. At a certain point, though, the committees are going to be finalized and certain bills are going to be referred over others. And so as those move, we will just kind of latch onto them. So right now I couldn't tell you like if there's any one bill that's like of a special critical importance to everybody, because there's a lot that's not in our control. There's not a lot that's in our hands. If we are really supporting Medicare Bill A, it's going to be Medicare Bill B that gets through. So we have to be able to stay flexible and just try our best to keep a broader sense of what the landscape looks like. And part of that is knowing who our allies are. There's a really great resource from Progress Texas where they compiled a lot of the allied Democratic interest groups from around the state. And the reality is that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. For instance, the Sierra Club, the Texas Sierra Club, is going to have a big list of bills that it supports and bills that it opposes. And so we're going to take that list and just kind of plug it into our repository of information, and have our own individual members just be tracking it. We do have issue huddles. If you want to get involved and send me an email, it'll get to Ash and I, and we will add you to whichever interest huddle that you are most interested in. Yes, question.
This to both you and also to Bruce. I saw postings on several Democratic sites about HB 1026. It's a voter suppression bill. Can you tell us more about that? There are going to be a lot of issues.
Is that the Middleton bill? The Mays Middleton?
I don't know who sponsored it, but
I think Bruce.
I don't know by the numbers yet, but that may be the bill to eliminate volunteer deputy registrars.
Yeah.
We're certainly not going to let that happen. There's enough Republican legislators who wouldn't go along with that. That's there are going to be a lot of wacky bills. That's one of the wackiest. And frankly, I'll make a deal with them. If they allow Texans to register to vote online, we can talk about that. But until then, there's nothing to discuss. Yeah.
I couldn't say it any
Bruce,
better myself.
What are the chances of online registration?
They're marginally better. The COVID has really woken people up to how we need to do things safely. And a lot of election administrators agree with me. I mean, they've endorsed online voter registration. And we've talked to some Republican legislators. I don't know if it's going to happen this session. You know, Texas will probably be last and we'll probably be court ordered to do it, but we will get there.
And at this point, we have no idea who is going to be on the elections committee in the House. Last session, we had two rock stars in Israel and Busey on the elections committee that were fighting the good fight for us. I hope that they can be on the same committees and continue their work, but if I were a Republican, I wouldn't want that, because you don't want to put your best people in where they can do the most good. Why would you?
Goodness, no, you don't.
Arthur, do you have any anticipation about what the Ledge is going to try to do to the city of Austin, and particularly regarding the police issue?
That is going to be probably on the governor's emergency agenda to tell counties and cities to do whatever he feels like, whether it's a Chick-fil-A or cutting down a tree or ensuring that the police are funded with, I don't know. I don't understand the logic of these people, but it probably will be a high agenda item. I don't know who's going to be on the local control county affairs committees at this point. I think actually there may be some already established in the House. I'm sorry, the Senate, but I have more interest in the House side of things. And certainly the House side of things is where we're going to find the most in the way of allies and people talking sense instead of going after cultural war issues, which if you look at the chairship of state affairs, that's all culture war, and that's going to be loud and unproud.
After our meeting today, another group I belong to is called Common Ground for Texans, and it's presenting a TED Talk by Jonathan Haidt, who's one of the leading psychiatrists in the country, and his stitch, I guess you could say, is to bring people of opposing notions together. He wrote the Righteous Mind, and he's along the same process, or they call it, you've heard of Tony of an Elephant. These are all books or places, people who explain why we don't think the same way. And Common Ground wants to work with people so we can, you know, communicate and maybe mend fences and get back together as a sensible country. But after the events that just happened, I'm not so sure I want to talk to these people. I really don't give a damn, you know, why they think the way they do. I want them eliminated from my life. If that means avoiding the, you know, Zoom or internet or Twitter. But they have been given license by Trump because they never would have done that before. You know, they were in the closet and in the woodwork where they belonged, and he allowed them to come out. And that just angers me so much. But if you're interested, it's at 2 o'clock this afternoon, Common Ground for Texas. The link is on their webpage, and I do believe they have a waiting room. But I'm going to warn them ahead of time anyway. But is there any more questions for Arthur or Bruce?
I will just kind of go off on what you said, Sandra, and assert that there are Republicans who, you know, if I were a Republican or a Republican staffer, I'd be absolutely devastated and hiding in shame 24/7. But speaking on a general basis, these are people that are concerned about the economy. They want to get people back to school. They want to, you know, work on our energy infrastructure. There are voices and leaders in the Republican Party that are going to go full speed ahead against the culture war issues that are their bread and butter, because all they care about is the primary challenge. Once they win their primary election, they don't have to worry about anyone. So it'll be important to know where we do have allies, where we do have people who want to tune out the noise and get stuff done. Because right now, if you look at any one of our legislators and the bills that they have introduced, it's going to be easy to get another Democrat to co-sponsor that bill. It's going to be easy to get people out in support of that. The challenge is going to be to find co-sponsors who are members of the other party. Every bill that is signed on to by a member of both parties is just going to have a stronger case for advancing. And I think that we can, I will do my best to tune out butt-waving idiots like we just saw and focus more on people who are really trying their best to work in the interest of the state. I hope. Hope is an evil thing.
Did you mention the MyTLO?
I did. MyTLO is My Texas Legislature Online. Anyone can create an account. Once you create an account, you can create lists where you earmark various bills that you are following. There's a really great primer on the front page of MyTLO to help you along in terms of like searching for keywords that will get you to view all of the bills that you're interested in. And we will talk about this more as the session progresses. Our legislative task force is going to hold Zoom meetings the second and fourth Wednesday of every month for the next 3 months. So if you want more information on that, just send us an email. Okay,
thank you very much. The change in the Senate where they lowered the number required to 18, is that going to stymie anything that we want to get accomplished?
Yes. It is a tool that they are shameless about using, and it makes any Democratic bill that we're trying to champion, it's going to be very difficult to get it to a fair hearing in a committee or much less on the floor itself.
I was, really enthused about activities at the legislature, and then somebody told me that we really can't get anything done. All we can do is try to prevent them from doing worse things. And that just devastated me, so I dropped out. I didn't do anything the last time. But I want to get back in again. I guess if all we can do is prevent more bad things, maybe that's what we need to do.
I think that because we're the minority team in both chambers of the legislature, that we want to be on the field as little as possible. But that also means that we have to think offensively whenever we can. The thing is that if we get more people out there promoting a Central Texas Democratic bill to change the name of a courthouse or a highway or something like that, it floods the legislative process with work. And the more work, the more nuts and bolts work that we push through both chambers, the less time and attention is going to be spent on the divisive culture war issues that they love so much. So it's a balance. It's a balancing act.
So what we do is we work to get our numbers of citizens involved just to mess up the works. Kind of thing.
I mean, we're wanting to gum up the works by advancing our delegation's bills. I mean, it's kind of a win-win in a lose-lose situation that we're dealing with.
All right. Well, folks, unless you have some more questions from Arthur, we will just work forward, moving forward. We'll be attending these meetings and do what we can. Please work with us. and trying to get some of this stuff changed and push these idiots back in the woodwork where they belong. And unless something, oh, I see the event is posted in our chat. So if you want to attend this afternoon's meeting. So hopefully next month when Sarah speaks, it'll be quiet. We will take the precautions that Leslie has told us about, and it won't happen again, I hope. Thank you all for attending. Yes, sir.
Do we have time for a quick election?
Oh, my Lord, yes. I forgot all about that. Please. Will you take over, Emil?
Okay. Okay. I'm a little disarray also. Please remind me of the two offices. We have treasurer.
Treasurer and vice president are up for grabs. If we have any nominations for somebody who would like to be in one of those positions, our current occupants are Jane Denson is our treasurer and Mandy Prater is our vice president. Is there any nominations for someone to run for those positions?
Okay.
Hearing none.
I understand Jane is prepared to go to run again today.
Yes.
And Mandy?
Yes.
Okay, so we have one candidate for each position. Are there any other candidates? Can we have a yes vote by acclamation on both positions from everyone here? Anybody opposed?
We can vote in the participant window.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to vote, happy with me also.
I second the motion for acclamation.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded, so let's just all raise our hands, okay?
Yes, from Kathy.
I figure out how to do that.
Okay, so if you go into the participants button, there's a place where you can hit raise hand, or we could do yes, no, like they do at the precinct chair meetings.
Okay, look at my hand.
I feel it's pretty unanimous. I don't see any oppositions. So I will declare that Mandy Prater is our vice president and Jane Denson will continue to be our treasurer. Now, those of you who want to be members and are not currently, we do have our website, www.netcodems.com, and there in your membership, it's $15, I think, for the year. There's a few items there that we are selling that you might be interested in purchasing. And our website is currently under development, but it does have some things in it. We have a blog, and right now, it's open. But I may modify that. But I would like to ask any of you, if you have something to say and want to share, to use that blog. And maybe we can get some conversations going on our website. I'd really like to see that happen. But I guess we're going to have to make sure that that's monitored before it gets published. So anyway, if there's nothing else, I guess I will close this meeting.
Oh, one thing, Kathy just asked about paying dues. Can you repeat what you said earlier about how the dues will be paid?
Go to the website and there's a membership. You just click on them. Actually, I think you just scroll down and got that membership form, $15, takes your credit card.
What's
If you
the web address?
I just sent it to you, Kathy. I just sent it to you in the chat.
And I just typed it into the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, NETCodems.com.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for attending, folks. I do apologize for the disturbance. Won't happen again.
Thanks, Sandra. Good meeting, notwithstanding.
Good to see everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks for being here.
Hugs.
Sure.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
week.
That's for Wednesday.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye now. Drive safe.
Oh, Fidel, I'm so glad you popped in. It was
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
everybody.